What's up and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something a little different. As you can see, I have my husband sitting here, Kevin. So instead of doing a beauty video or a how-to video or a makeup haul, we're gonna talk today about some current events. And we filmed this video on the day after Election Day. And so we're kind of feeling that election hangover, if you will. We're not going to talk to you about parties or who won, but we're just going to talk to you a little bit about our voting experience. And so I saw a lot of different companies this year that have no political ties, nothing to do with politics, sorry if I can get that word out, just encouraging people to vote. And we both voted this year. We took about an hour out of our day. We early voted, actually. And Kevin, why don't you jump in here?
Yeah, that's in large part due to you. This is the first time I've honestly voted in I can't tell you how many years. I did not. I know. I did not vote in the last presidential election, and I have not voted for several years prior to that. I came up with every excuse in the book. I was busy with work, travel.
You know there's early mail-in ballots.
I just truthfully just didn't take the time to do it, shamefully, but I'm admitting it now. But I'm glad I did. It had everything to do with Kayla encouraging me to do it. We did the early voter process here in Nashville, Tennessee, and it, other than quite a long line, it went really well. I'm very glad I did it. I agree. We don't need to talk about who won, who lost, as important as that is, but the bottom line is, a guy like me who hasn't voted in multiple years, like I said, I honestly can't remember the last time I voted. It was good to get back out and cast my vote.
Did you feel the need to vote in this election because a lot of different people were telling you to vote, or because you hadn't voted and you're like, oh, I need to get around to doing that again, so I need to head to the polls?
For me, it was a combination of the two. For me, it was, again, your encouragement and me neglecting my civic duty for the last, like I said, I can't remember how many years. But I also felt through a lot of the social media channels and through the media that there was a big encouragement to vote. I saw somebody, I don't remember who it was, they said, we don't care who you vote for, just go vote.
Yeah.
So I took that small step and went out and did it. But it took us probably an hour and a half at least. It was a long line, but it was worth it. I felt more engaged last night watching the election results roll in than I ever have in several years, as I mentioned. So, it was kind of cool to get out and be part of it. But there was such a massive turnout, and I think I agree with you. It had a lot to do with just a variety of companies, whether it's social media or the news media in general, just encouraging people to get out and vote. So.
Yeah, and don't hold me to it, but I think there were some records broken here in Nashville as far as turnout and how many voters they saw at the polls. I know they stayed open late to accommodate those that showed up later in the evening to vote, and yeah, it was just interesting to watch everything on TV last night. I remember watching some of that stuff as a kid with my parents and not quite understanding it, but now, whether it be having a journalism background or just being more involved in social media nowadays, I just felt like I was more engaged in watching what was happening last night.
Yeah, absolutely. And to dovetail on what you said about when we were there, election night was last night, we were there Thursday, so a few days prior. The gentleman that was helping, mentioned that already at that stage, the Thursday prior to Election Tuesday, they'd already had, I think, over double the turnout that they had in early voter folks coming out for the presidential election, which was mind-blowing to me. So it says a lot, but I'm glad that the people are getting out and doing, what's a forgotten civic duty.
Right, and it's not, I think it's kind of cool and almost trendy now with the younger kids, but I think that's great that at least they're engaging in something other than just, who has the best clothes, best shoes. It doesn't matter who you're voting for, just as long as you're getting out and voting, I think.
I agree, and I think that's the next step is, at least for me personally, is not only getting out and voting, but doing more homework research ahead of time to make a conscious decision. There were a few things, I'm not going to lie, on the ballot that I was completely in the dark about. So, kudos to me for going out and voting, thanks to you. But next time I need to be a little more educated to make a more educated decision on the ballot. But that falls on me. So. But I agree. It's great that everybody turned out. But I think the next step is to keep those numbers going, keep those numbers coming in, but also folks educating themselves, not just going to vote because it's cool.
Yeah, to get the sticker and take your picture.
To get the sticker and, oh, I voted today and that sort of stuff. But yeah, to now educate yourself. Okay, it's great everybody got out. Now we need to start educating ourselves prior to. That's just my opinion.
So we're going to transition away from voting and talk about college football, college athletics, and shamefully, or not shamefully, I don't know, but we run a little college football betting league amongst ourselves as well as some friends and family. And I know a game that you're looking forward to tonight is your alma mater, so why don't you take it from here?
Yes, that's why I'm wearing the Miami Redhawks ball cap as we do our first video together, but to support my alma mater, who plays Miami University Redhawks, Miami University, Ohio, as they say, in Oxford, Ohio, plays the Ohio University Bobcats in the Battle of the Bricks and the Battle for the Bricks tonight, which is a huge rivalry.
Run.
At least it used to be 20 years ago when I went to Miami. The Mid-American Conference, Ohio University was our big rival. So that game is on TV tonight in about 15-20 minutes. So
we'll wrap this up quickly. Now, do they actually battle over bricks? Or like, what does it come from? Do you know?
That's a great question, and shamefully, I do not have the answer.
Okay.
I picked up on that on the internet, on social media today, on Twitter. So it's a big rivalry game. It used to be years ago when I was a student there, but it's called the Battle of the Bricks or Battle for the Bricks. So both campuses have a lot of brick incorporated in architecture. Maybe that has something to do with it. But
Gotcha.
Anyway.
Doesn't hockey play tonight too?
No, hockey, Miami University men's ice hockey plays Friday, Saturday at home in Oxford, Ohio against University of North Dakota. We'll get to that when we start talking about college hockey. But right now we'll stick with football. Big shout out to my man Patty G. You know who you are out there. Picking up the T tonight. Big responsibility. Don't let us down because I will be watching. And oh, by the way, I think they have a dog do that at Boise State. So
nice.
Anyway, I had to point that out. Good luck, Patty G.
Go, Patty G.
We'll transition to a little bit of TV watching that we've been doing lately.
Yeah, because we're going to talk to y'all about some shows that we've really been into lately.
But, go ahead.
And one of them has to do with college football, so I don't care. We can start talking about that if you want.
Why don't we mention that real quick? So we watched a show that we just wrapped up 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
On Amazon.
Yes.
And I am from Michigan. And I grew up a massive University of Michigan Wolverines fan, football fan in particular. And we caught this Amazon series called All or Nothing. And it's kind of a behind-the-scenes look at the University of Michigan football team.
Let's go work! Let's compete!
It follows them during the last 2017 season.
Yes.
So it's about a year old, just came out I think in the spring, April, May, somewhere in that ballpark. But it was really, really good. Behind the scenes look, gives you a whole different perspective about a big time Division I college football team. And it's kind of cool to see last year and then how well they're doing this year. But that's just one of many television programs.
And not only does it, showcase Michigan football, but it's also it tells a story really well too. It's not they're just showing, practice and games, but they really shadow and really follow some of the players and some of the coaches and profile them. And I love the way that it's shot with the camera angles and just the establishing shots. I know you mentioned that was one of your favorite things.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that as well. And I'm just huge on stories and the way that packages or film is put together. And I think they did a really great job on that.
Yeah, it was great. They could have done this at any school, and
Right.
It would have been just as impactful. It just happened to be at one of my favorite institutions.
And now one of my adopted institutions, because when I find that I watch something like that, because you get to know the players and their family,
Mm-hmm.
and now you just really like, oh wow, I like Michigan now. Like we watched a couple of hockey stories like that the past couple years, and it's like, oh my gosh, now I like the Washington Capitals because of their storytelling, or I like the Nashville Predators even more because they really profile the players and give you that story background.
Yeah, absolutely. It's they can do it around any university, any team, minor or pro, but it's how well the story is told. So, and I think we just live in a world where people can be their own. You know, years ago you had to have a big high production studio to film the stuff. Now
and there's only like 3 or 4 or 5 of those, but now it's
now
so
I feel
many.
like there's, you know, everybody is a videographer now. So anyway, just really good storytelling from a sports perspective. But we've watched some other shows non-sports related recently too.
Yes, so with the theme of Halloween, we watched The Haunting of Hill House, which I thought it was going to be kind of a more comedy type of horror sort of thing. I don't know. That's what I got from social media until we started watching it, and it was kind of creepy. I mean, there were some scary parts in it. Don't
It was
you
pretty
agree?
good. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big horror, scary.
See, I used
show
to
film
love
person, but-
horror movies until I got a little bit older and started living on my own, and I didn't really watch them as much because I was creeped out. But this one was good. It had a good story behind it. Definitely some freaky parts. I know a lot of people have already watched that. We also watched Sabrina, which I can't remember. It's like the Wicked series of Sabrina. I can't remember the exact title, but
You're a rebel, Spellman. That's how I like my witches.
it's based on the Archie comic books. There's a couple. They pay homage to a little bit of the Melissa Joan Hart series, and that one was more kind of the comedic horror, funny, Satan sort of based thing that I thought the Haunting on Hill House was going to be, but we enjoyed that one. And also, let's see what else. We're starting House of Cards season 6, I think it is.
I believe so. It's the
We
last
watched,
season.
yeah, we watched
Allegedly.
we watched the first episode. It's kind of interesting. If you haven't seen it, we don't want to spoil it for you, but you know, there were a lot of controversy about Kevin Spacey. We'll bring that up. And it's just interesting what they do in the first episode to work around that.
Yeah, absolutely. How you'll be, it's, yeah, it's kind of, it's not anything you expect about the ultimate, how do I say this without spoiling it, undoing of Frank Underwood.
Right. Let's see, what else have we watched lately?
And we've watched so much TV.
We keep
that
up with
it
a couple
blends together.
shows on TV.Netflix or Amazon. We watch American Horror Story, which this season's been a little bit better than the past couple ones. I know Kevin doesn't really agree with me
That's a bit of a stretch.
because I think he needed. I've watched all of the seasons, whereas Kevin's just come in the last couple, so he might not. You tell me if I'm wrong. You might not be following entirely because you didn't see season 1, The Murder
Correct.
House, or season 3, The Coven. So it's kind of tying in there, but it's been a little bit better than the past couple seasons, I want to say.
If I would have seen them all, I probably would have a different opinion of it.
But yeah, if you guys know of any series or seasons that we need to watch, please let us know
Let us
down
know.
in the comments. Something on our list, I don't know if I've told Kevin yet, that's on our list is Homecoming with Julia Roberts. That looks interesting, as well as Maniac,
With Jonah Hill.
and Emma Stone. That looks good as well, so that's also on our list to watch. Thanks for watching. This might have been a little bit of a long video. We can try and keep it shorter next time, but we hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, let us know of anything in the comments that you want us to address in our next video, and we'll see you in the next one.
Go Red Hawks.